to another edition of the Ryan Jones Sr. Show. You already know this, Ryan Jones Sr. I got the LeBron going on, just like LeBron had. You know, we change the phase, in and out, however we want to go. But today is a special episode with Trey Sumler. Some people call him Bubble Chuck. Some people call him the GOAT. I mean, you know, Rocky Mount, you know, that's a little difficult situation because everybody thinks that they GOAT in Rocky Mount. In Rock City, you know what I'm saying? Northern Rocky Mount, rivals, we don't know. But here we are. So look, Trey, how you doing today, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great as can be, man.
Look, let's get to it. So, you know, played in Nash Central. You know, they built Nash Central. And I'm probably sure, like everybody else, raw thoughts. You know, you never thought Nash Central would be there, so you didn't know which way it was going to go. So, question for you. If Nash Central wasn't built, what would you play it? Oh! Hey, you believe, bro? Okay.
Well, my mind and my body would have wanted to go to Northern.
But where you lived at was...
I can't... My whole family Northern Nash. Everybody in my family went Northern. My dad graduated from Northern. My mom graduated from Northern.
Okay.
My brother graduated from Northern. So everybody in my family went to Northern. Like, obviously, like you said, when they built Nash Central, they put a divide in the area, and they sent certain kids certain ways, and I just happened to be one of them kids to end up going to Nash Central. But it was all good, though. And I say I would have probably played at Northern, too, because Coach Mosley would have still been at Northern. That was the biggest thing, even with me going to Nash Central. My dad, we was through the era of Rick Ruffin, and not even to
Ruffin.
I respect him as a person, so I'm not gonna try.
I got you. But coaching and respect as a person is two different levels.
Yes,
bro. So again, those are my thoughts, not his thoughts. Those are my raw thoughts. So you don't put it on him, because I'm raw thoughts. I ain't gonna do life in jail or death penalty. That's my line. Go ahead.
They're right too. Nah, but we just kind of, we had kind of been through that already. My brother played for Rick Ruffin for 2 years, so it was kind of a thing of Coach Mosley's at Nash Central, and we know that basketball is probably gonna be one of your routes. So we're gonna send you over to Nash Central and let you play under Coach Mosley where he can really teach you the game. Coach Mosley's reputation was always good as far as developing players and teaching them how to play basketball the right way. Like, he wasn't a guy who was going to let you showboat or do your thing.
Yeah.
Let you play
No doubt.
Yeah. Everybody knows Coach Mosley. I mean, to this day, he just retired now. Shout out to Coach Mosley. Congratulations on his retirement. I think he did 35 years in coaching. I mean, I'm just.
He had to love y'all, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But he actually went out with me. He retired the year I left Nash Central, and then he ended up coming back coaching college at Wesleyan, and then his last few years he did at Southwest, and I think he did a great job over there at Southwest. Southwest went furthest they ever been in, I think this maybe the school history.
So.
You good? No, yeah.
Yeah, I apologize. I want you to get everything out. So, for me, I know Mosley was a legend.
Mm-hmm.
So raw thoughts. I'm curious because this is raw thoughts. Look, one thing about me, unscripted. What I say is what I say. That's me. Blame me, charge me, whatever. You could do it, whatever. Whatever happened to Ruffin? Because I'm still thinking about like what you said about Ruffin. What happened to Ruffin? Did he go? He disappear? He left the town? County? What?
I honestly don't know. I don't know what Coach Ruffin did.
Because I think about like most of the people was coached by him. Like, no, ain't nobody said nothing about him.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know where he ended up going after he left Northern. I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea.
America's Most Wanted, Mr. Ruffin, is on the way. All right, so look. Talk about your career at Nash Central. Since you had to go to Nash Central, basketball-wise, you as the high school player.
That's funny that you asked me that because I've just been thinking like over the last couple months, last couple years, just when I hear these conversations just go around in the city, like it's funny that you opened up talking about people having a conversation about who's the GOAT in Rocky Mount and all that. Mm-hmm. And I never put myself in that conversation as far as like, oh, I'm the GOAT or can't nobody mess with me or none of that. But when you want to break it down to look at numbers, when you want to look at wins and how much you actually won as a player and the other things you contributed to on the court, it's kind of hard not to put me in that conversation. Like, it's crazy, like, when you actually look at the numbers. Phil Ford is the only person that in high school scored at least 1,900. Phil scored right over 2,000. And I know Phil did that in 2 years. It was a different era back then. Nobody's questioning Phil's greatness.
Hey, then nobody can stop Phil Ford then, raw thoughts. That's my raw thoughts
yeah,
on that.
That man,
at that time, yeah.
2,000 points in 2 years is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But at least 1900 in high school. I finished with 1912 in that Central, and to go play Division I basketball and still score another 1900. I don't know what Phil finished with at UNC. I know Tyler Hansborough broke his record when I was in school, but his record lasts forever. I know Tayshaun Mabry broke his record when we was in school, but like I said, Tayshaun played 4 years. But outside of Tayshaun and Phil Ford are the only guys in Nash and Edgecombe County to pass me in career scoring.
Woo! No, one of my boys said he got some raw thoughts. I gotta talk. Yeah, go ahead, keep it. I'm gonna sit back and chill.
I'm just saying though.
I might sip me some water, something right now. No wonder he told me he had to get on the show.
It's only Phil Ford. It's only Phil Ford.
Only Phil Ford out of all the players, and Phil Ford played in the 70s. Raw thoughts. Keep finishing.
You do the math. So in the last 50 years. Nobody has scored at least 1900 at both levels, at high school and Division I basketball.
Woo!
So I mean, when you want to start talking about who's the GOAT, and I like I said, I don't put myself in that conversation. I pay respect to the guys that came before me. And I think that's kind of a problem of where we at right now in today's basketball. When you talk about guys not knowing the history of basketball, I came up knowing about Phil Ford, knowing about Buck Williams, knowing about George McClain, knowing about Jerry Stackhouse, and all these guys that came from this area who are greats. You know what I'm saying? Now some of these kids, and like I said, I'm not even trying to put myself in the conversation and say I'm one of the best to do it. But it's funny how I walk into some of these gyms
and they don't nobody know you, and nobody acknowledge you,
and I don't even feel no type of way about that because that's your loss.
Woo!
That's your loss.
I'm feeling that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You fine though. It's just like I said. When I think about it, sometimes it's just kind of crazy. And like I said, this haven't even always been a thought of mine. But recently, when I looked at one of the old newspaper clippings from all-time scorers in Nash and Edgecombe County, you look, I'm right behind Phil Ford, and I'm like, hey.
And they don't never say, who is this guy?
It's only fit. But I think a lot of that comes from me going to Nash Central. In this area, if you didn't go to Northern or you didn't go to Rocky Mount, a lot of people don't respect you. You know, so and then when you look at, since I've left Nash Central, I was fortunate enough to play on a decent team, a good team. I'm not even gonna say decent team. I played on a good team. I was the leader of that team all 4 years. I won MVP all 4 years, 9th through 12th grade. We won conference, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. So I won conference 3 years in a row. With Rocky Mount, Northern, Fike, Southwest, and Southern Nash in the conference.
So Eugene Jenkins playing there.
Eugene Jenkins was at Southwest. We all know.
Did he play against Tayshaun?
Tayshaun was, yes.
Okay.
Jeremy Atkinson was at Fike. He scored 2,000.
Jeremy!
Jonte
Sherrod was at
Tarboro.
Yeah.
KJ Cooper was at North Edgecombe. So when we
started, you play against some dogs.
I'm
sorry, bro.
You fine?
No, not for you, but for me and my viewers. I had to hit that. But go ahead.
Yeah, Brian Thomas was at Northern Nash. So Justin and Marcus Howard was at Southern Nash. So when you start talking about the area and where guys, the competition level, it was a Division I, Division II player, or at least Division I talent for sure, at every school in the area. And Nash Central was still dominating. And I was still doing my thing. And like I said, that's not nothing I talk about. I don't go around bragging and boasting. I don't do a lot of posting on social media and talking about, oh, remember back in the day when I did. It don't matter. It ain't my time no more. My time that passed me. It's about these kids coming up. So I want the kids to do better for themselves. But part of it is them not knowing. And I don't necessarily blame them because they do what they're taught. So I think that's coming from the top. I think it's a lot of, and I don't even want to get onto it because people do what they want to do with their kids. But a lot of stories that I know, it came from my dad. My dad told me about George McClain. My dad told me about Jerry Stackhouse. So like a lot of these players, my parents was able to inform me on, and I was actually able to know my history and have something to actually chase. Now these kids are chasing social media highlights. Woo. They four, 5, and 6 points in the game. 2 of them was a dunk. 1 of them was a 3, and the other point was a free throw. You finished with 6 points, and all we seen all week was that dunking that 3-pointer you made. And you got 400 likes on there, and you got 20 comments in there saying you the GOAT, and boy, you doing your thing. To me, and I don't blame them because that's the area that they come up in, but I personally, raw thoughts.
Raw thoughts, baby. He said raw thoughts, baby. I'm already hyped.
Raw thoughts.
Okay.
I'm blaming the parents. And I'm part of the parents, in this era.
That in this era that had children that grew up in this now era.
And that's even worse. Because that means you went to school with me.
Whoo!
That's even worse because you went to school with me. And like I said though, like, and that's another part of it. Like, we babying these kids, I feel like a lot of the times, man. Like, the transfer thing, right? This is another thing that's been kind of like heavy on my mind, the transfer thing. Everybody feel like, oh, I'm going to transfer. I'm going to get my kid to a better situation. I'm going to transfer. I'm going to get my kid a better opportunity. How much is your kid actually working on their game? You know, how much time is your kid spending on their phone, on their tablet, on their iPad, on their video game versus working on their game? So you thinking transferring them is going to put them in a better situation. Transferring them is going to get them looked at by a certain school. And in just reality, it's like, it doesn't matter about the school. These college coaches coming anywhere. Tyron Stokes, the number one player in the country last year in basketball. You think it matter what school he went to? No, it ain't matter what school he went to. Them coaches was coming to see him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's because he worked on his game and he established himself and he put himself at a certain precedent where, oh, they coming to look at me. They're not coming to look at the school. He left the school he was at and went to a public school. You think they was going to the private school and saying, oh, they got a good tradition or they got a good program over there? No, I'm coming to see Tyron Stokes. So it's like coaches are not going to schools for the program. They're going for the players. So, like, transferring your kid it's about their work ethic. It's about their knowledge of the game. It's about how much they actually want to put in it. So, like, that's just, I mean, I know I'm kind of rambling. I kind of all over the place right there.
Look, the floor is yours. Yeah. All raw thoughts on the Ryan Jones Senior Show is welcome, whether it's life, relationships, whatever. Welcome.
Yeah.
The floor is yours. This is your time. This is like a therapy session, live and direct.
Yeah. Nah, but I mean, that's just where I'm at with it like that. I mean, but to answer your question and go back on it though, man, I feel like my career at Nash Central just was, I feel like always just the competitiveness in me and just the truthful and the honest opinion just about myself. It could have been better, but when you stack it up numbers wise, I mean, I left Nash Central number one in every category except for rebounds. You talking about points? You talking about assists?
No jersey retired.
You talking about steal?
Do you care about the jersey? I want to say that because I want to interrupt because like some people don't care about the jersey being retired, but do you think your jersey should be retired? After what you said, like you're second to field forward, an NBA player, retired jersey in University of North Carolina, like, and you're from Nash County, regardless of the area you're at, like, does that matter? Or what people say, you didn't play nobody. Because that's how people like to say, even with Tarpon football, you don't play nobody. No offense to Tarpon football as well. I know Tarpon football, they love me, but at the same time, they mad at me right now because business is business. I love you too. Wow. Get over it. Well, go ahead.
We just hit on that. You can't say I didn't play anybody. Tayshaun Mabry is the number one scorer in all of Nash and Edgecombe County.
Correct.
I think he got 2,200. Tayshaun.
We are pretty fast up. That's right. Tell him that.
Tayshaun was a year behind me, so I played against Tay for 3 years. So all 3 years that I played against Tayshaun, I won the conference. Tayshaun came to Rocky Mountain when I was in the 10th grade. My 10th grade year, we went undefeated in conference. My 11th grade year, it was a 4-way tie for first place. My senior year, we went 9-1 in conference and won. So when you talk about playing somebody, we played Jeremy Atkinson. Jeremy Atkinson was a JUCO National Player of the Year.
Yep.
Went to UNC Asheville and was a monster.
Yeah, and they ended up winning 3 state titles as a coach at Wilson Prep. Am I correct?
Greenfield. He's at Jeremy Atkinson. You talking about Jeremy? You talking about Ant Atkinson.
Sorry,
you talking
wrong person. Wrong thoughts. One thing about me, I can make mistakes. It is what it is. Get over it.
Yes. Yeah, that's Ant Atkinson. But Jeremy Atkinson scored over 2,000 points in Woodson County. He's not counted in that National Edgecombe County. Gotcha. He scored over 2,000 points in school. Like I said, Tig, Brian Thomas was at Northern Nash. I
just interviewed him. His show was already out, available, by the way. But go ahead. Okay. You ready to shake your head? Like you ready to say something?
No. It's just plenty of guys in our era who played Division I, Division II basketball, whatever they played, and went to college. So when we're talking about guys that I played against, we can't say I didn't play against competition. And at that level. I mean, that's not even I don't even think that's really a conversation because this area, in any area, just to be honest with you, in any area, we've always had talent in this area.
Correct.
Like we've in this area has always been talent. Since I've been a kid watching high school basketball games from Scotty Austin and Chafin Lewis and guys like that back in the day in Northern, like it's always been talent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In this area. It's like so to say that it would just be kind of crazy to say I didn't play against any talent. But
one person didn't say, I ain't mean to interrupt. I hope raw thoughts. You ready for raw thoughts? You want me to say it?
yeah.
You didn't say nothing about Mo Deloach.
Oh no! I came up watching Mo a little bit. He played with my brother. He played with my brother. Yeah,
I had to say it. Because you named everybody else. Nothing against him.
No. I
I
seen you had Mo up here a couple weeks ago and everything, though, man. Nah, but I mean, he was definitely a good player that came from this area. I mean, he's one of those guys who's up there too. I mean, we're not gonna discredit his talent level.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a few guys' name who I'm not gonna get to say. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's gonna be a few guys who gonna be not mentioned in this, but I mean that doesn't mean that those guys weren't incredible.
Legendary,
I mean, I didn't name Sheldon Whitaker. I didn't name Jolly Manning.
God. Look,
I didn't name.
I always want to get a 3-point
I didn't name AJ McNeil.
Look, AJ is legendary.
You know what I'm saying? So
I always want to get a 3-point contest with Sheldon Whitaker because I can shoot better than him. No, I'm lying. I can't shoot better than him. I can shoot better than Sheldon.
Yeah, but
hell no.
But no, to answer your question about the jersey retirement too, though, I don't like. I went into the Hall of Fame in that Central. I think in 2022 or 2023. I can't remember. I want to say it was 2023. It was the year after I coached. No, it was 2022. It was the year after I coached there. So I'm in the Hall of Fame there. So, I mean, it would be nice to get my jersey retired. I think it would be a nice, cool thing to do. But, I mean, if they don't retire, I mean, this is how I look at it. You got to look at the guys, like, I was always big on this, and I just talked about this. I looked at the guys that came before me. So, if you know the real history, Phil Ford and Buck Williams' number are actually not retired at Rocky Mountain.
Oh,
their jerseys are hanging up where they're rookie of the year, and if you notice, they have even numbers. Phil Ford wore 12, and Buck Williams, I want to say, wore 52.
Informative information.
Yeah. Gotcha. Now if you look at Rocky Mountain numbers, they all odd numbers. So they just don't wear even numbers over there anymore. Gotcha. So it isn't that their jersey is retired. So when you look at just the history, I mean, how many guys from this area actually have their jersey retired? I went to Trey's jersey retirement just this past year. Trey's, we all know what he was at North Edgecombe.
Yeah.
And we all know what he did in the NBA. Right. So we talking about Trey's, and then who else actually got their jersey retired in this area?
Only person, Edgecombe and Nash, or just Nash?
Nash and Edge.
Jonte Sherrod got his jersey retired at Edgecombe County.
At Tarboro.
Yeah, because like this is the thing, like Mo said it on a snippet and on his show. He was like, we have a Tarboro Football Hall of Fame. Tarboro Hall of Fame with basketball players and stuff. Every year they have like a ceremony, a banquet. Everybody get their jersey retired, whether it's wrestling, baseball, whatever. That's what it is. And when Mo was explaining it, which he did explain it as well, like, you know, why we don't have the same thing in Nash County? Because the people over there, they have like a whole ceremony every single year to vote in from a board that allows them to get their jersey retired. He was like, why we don't have it here? You know, it was more levels, so I don't want to misquote him or anything like that. But like, it's the same thing. Like, it should be like, you should have your jersey retired. He should have his jersey retired.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not going to disagree with saying that my jersey should be retired, but what I'm gonna say is too, you gotta just look across the board. Like I said, even when you look at, and I'm not trying to discredit him in any kind of way, but when you look across the board and you look at the scoring list of who scored what in Nash and Edgecombe County, where's his name on the list? So, and I'm not saying that to discredit him in any manner, but if you don't, I think Jonte Sherrod is like, on the picture that I took of the list, it was in a newspaper article. I want to say Jonte Sherrod was like the last person on that list, one of the last people on that list, and he was at like 1,400. So like, if you didn't score more than 1,500 in high school, I mean, how can we really talk about your jersey being retired? Did you win? What did you win? That's what I'm saying. It's so many factors that go in. We talking about jersey retirement. This is a precious thing, a jersey retirement.
Yeah, I want you to break that down because a lot of people don't understand the concept. And now you have the show, you have the platform. Break down what jersey retirement means in your mind.
Honestly, I just like I said, I think you. Have
outside of what people vote, because boys gonna disagree. They agree or disagree. I just want you to feel like what you feel. Let's say if your jersey retired, what would you feel? Why your jersey should be retired?
I think you got to just go off the standard of what came before. So in that Central, is nothing to compare it to.
They never had nothing.
Not even that they never had nothing.
I'm just talking about like the school being like the foundation of the part of the school not being like.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is no jersey retired there. So it's
not even Allen Vasco.
No, Allen Vasco only played 1 year, and he didn't graduate from there though. Yeah, Allen Vasco was crazy though. Yeah, I got to see him play his junior year before he went back to Texas. But this is how I look at it, right? Western Carolina, where I played college at. I know we're gonna probably get on that a little.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and peel that peel out like an orange. Yeah. So go and start on that.
So one of my coaches who coached me there, assistant coach, he's in the Hall of Fame there. I think he scored maybe 1,500 points. I passed him early in my senior year. He went into the Hall of Fame, I think my junior year, and he graduated in '96. So we talking about 16 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. From when he actually got his jersey retired, from when he played. And this man averaged 25 points a game. He went to the NCAA tournament. They won the SoCon. So if he didn't go into the Hall of Fame, even though I passed him in points, assists, all that kind of individual stats, if he didn't go into the Hall of Fame until 16 years after he graduated, how can I expect to go in before? He won, and he had a year where he averaged 25 a game in Division I basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it's I kind of just look at the people before me, and it's a standard that's being set on a certain level, and if you don't even meet that criteria, how can you even step into the conversation of saying you're deserving of that? Because it's like I said, it's so many things that go in there. We talking about individual stats. We talk about winning when you were there. You can't be a player that just put up stats and then your team never won. You know, you have to have been winning conference. You have to have in college. You talking about did you go to the NCAA tournament? It's certain things that kind of fit, and there's no, unless it's a school that has a certain criteria for it, it's no direct manual or no criteria for it unless they said it. But when you start looking at the people that came before you, if you don't meet their criteria, how can you jump in front of them, or how can you say, oh, I deserve to be in that category, and you didn't do certain things? That's why I say, even when we talk about the GOAT conversation, talk about Phil Ford, Buck Williams, those guys went to the NBA Rookie of the Year. You know what I'm saying? Those guys went Carolina, Maryland. We talk about George McClain. George McClain, state championship. Go to NC State, national championship. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of, when you talk about those, like I said, I wouldn't put myself in a conversation with those guys. If you throw me in there, I ain't mad at it, but I pay respect to those guys that came before me first. So when you talk about who's the GOAT and all that kind of stuff, okay, I'm going to put those guys first. But if you're talking about anybody after them, to me, I hate to say it like that, but you're going to come second fiddle.
Oh, raw thoughts. Raw thoughts. So now we go to this. Now you leave. You left your mark. Zorro, whatever. You go to Western Carolina. What was the decision in you deciding Western Carolina?
It was hard, but it was it was a lot easier than what I thought it was. Shout out to Coach Mosley. Coach Mosley kind of I ain't gonna say he made me commit, but it was getting down late in the process, and I had UNCG, I had Citadel, I had North Carolina Central. Central had just went Division I at the time.
Was LaVelle Moulton there then?
Yeah, Moulton was there.
Okay,
they had just went Division I. They actually weren't even in a conference yet. They was independent still, so they was playing a crazy schedule.
So he was on the starter stage. Now, would you chose West Carolina over LaVelle after years, or what? You maybe not.
You talking about right now?
Yeah.
It's so funny that you asked me that, because after coaching at Elizabeth City for 2 years and
oh wow, forgot.
Yeah, so being in that HBCU environment, it really just showed me what the environment is just like. And it was so fun to me. And I just look at the career I had even at Western Carolina, and I don't regret anything. I love even my teammates. I ain't going to say a lot. Most of those guys I still talk to this day.
You
know what I'm saying? So just developing those relationships, and, I would never take that back from any of those guys. But I don't know, man. I would have went to Central. And this is why I say that too, though. Central actually ended up going to the tournament when I was in school. They got Poobie from Enloe, and they had another pretty good player at the time. I don't remember who it was. They had another good guard. But that was always one of my dreams to play in the NCAA tournament. So when I was at Western Carolina, we lost in the championship game twice. We lost to Davis in my sophomore year in a double overtime game.
Steph for there?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Steph left the year before I got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you dodged that bullet.
I dodged that bullet. Yeah, I dodged that. If Steph would have came in for his senior year, he would have been there my freshman year. So I would have got to see that. But what was I saying? I lost track of where I was even at.
They talking about what you went to, college, recruits, stuff like that. You could have went to Central if you didn't.
Okay, yeah, boom. Oh yeah, but
boom. That's what I do. I'm gonna ground you, baby.
Yeah, you definitely brought me back. But no, Central end up developing, end up recruiting some guys, and they end up having a good program. So to answer your question, I ain't gonna say I would have went to Central, because honestly at that time, if I'm being real with myself, going to a HBCU probably would have been a little too much for me, just to be honest. Just being in that environment.
Piggyback on that.
I'm just saying. I played in SoCon. I played at Western Carolina, and I was the man on the team. No disrespect to Central or any HBCUs or the MEAC or any. But if I would have went to the MEAC, or if I would have went to Central, I can't imagine what I would have been doing there. I'm talking about on the court. I'm talking about on the court. So it would have been so easy, I know, for me to get into so much trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know.
So you feel like HBCUs like party, this and the third. You wouldn't be focused about you going to West Carolina. Like, what I'm going to do
It's nothing to do here.
Yeah,
I'm
going to be focused. Exactly, yeah.
Exactly. So it was a lot easier for me to stay focused on basketball. And I actually went to a Central game on a visit. And I didn't even remember telling my dad this, but my dad always say that I told him that when we went to the game. Like, man, I can't go to no HBCU. So it ended up probably being a good thing that I ended up going to Western Carolina, man. But it was a good ride, though, man. But like I said, I had UNCG, I had Citadel, I had Central, I had High Point, and maybe like one or two more. But they were all small schools. And like I said, it was late in the process. And Coach Mosley called me down to his office one day, and he was like, man, you need to go ahead and tell this coach what you're going to do. Like, man, you playing around. It's getting late. It's April. It's May. You know, it's something about to get hit.
Yeah,
like, you still got that offer.
Yeah.
Like, and at the time, Western Carolina had just won 20 games the year before. So if you know anything about college, if you're a program that can win 20 games, you're a decent program.
Yeah.
Division
you're
one
going to make
level,
the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Even if you don't make the tournament, if you won 20 games, you had a good year.
You have a shot.
Yeah, because in those smaller conferences like that, if you don't win the conference tournament, you're not going to the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So you can win 25 games. If you don't win your conference tournament, you ain't going to the tournament.
So my question is you. Like, this is random before we get into the rest of it. Like, do you feel like the smaller D1 schools get an unfair shot because, like, they have to fight to get in while other big tournaments or big conferences just walk in the door? Like, because let's say ACC, SEC, Pac-12, Big 10 or Big 12, Big East. Like, they walk in the tournament easily. Like, do you feel like that's something that should be fair, and they just let them walk in? Or
I think it just kind of varies, man. Because some of those, like honestly, I played in the mid-major conference.
Yeah,
you can win 20 games in the mid-major conference and not be better than a 500 team in one of those power.
Because of the strength of schedule.
Not even just strength of schedule, just you're not better than them.
Yeah.
I No, I'm just. I
don't know. I was asking the question.
Yeah. No, it's just like, okay. I'll just give you an example. We was my freshman year. My freshman year, we won a conference at Western Carolina. UTEP drug us. They had Randy Culpepper. He was cold though. UTEP drug us. We lost to Ohio State. They was #1 team in the country at the time though. So like, you're gonna play. Basically, what I'm saying is you're gonna play, even though you're gonna play some of those high majors who are not as good, but they're better than you.
I got you.
You're gonna play a team that's gonna be midway to pack in their conference, but they're better than you as a team. I mean, so it's hard to say you're just deserving because your record is better. It's all about, to me, it's all about the team and the makeup of the team that you have and the actual year you have. And like I'll take, for example, my senior year, we put Davidson out, and Davidson had won like 22, 23 games. They were a tournament team. So on that end of it, that was a tournament team that lost and they weren't getting in regardless. But they were better than a lot of those teams that are mid-pack. So it's some of those teams, like I said, it all depends on what mid-major conference you're in. Like, if you go to the Atlantic 10, where Davidson is actually at now, where you got Dayton and St. Louis and a lot of those higher mid-major schools, like, yeah, they're deserving of 3 or 4 teams. You got Creighton and, like, teams
Creighton
like that.
In the tournament. Yeah. For some reason, they find a way to upset certain teams over years.
Even if they don't win their strength of schedule is so high and they did so good, they still gonna get in the tournament. So, like I said, the mid-major thing, it all depends on what conference you in. And the strength of your schedule. Who you didn't beat that year? You know what I'm saying? Like my freshman year when I say we won a conference, we beat DePaul that year. We played really good against Clemson. And I forgot the other high major that we played against. I'm pretty sure we end up playing them good. But like I said, UTEP whooped us that year. Ohio State whooped us. So, like, you're going to have those games.
They big.
Yeah, and we played Ohio State. They had Jared Sullinger, Leidy, and all. Yeah, they were number one team in the country when we played them.
Jared Sullinger at the time was like a number 1 draft pick, possibly.
Yeah.
You know, he ain't there now, but I mean, during that time frame.
Yeah. I mean, he had a lengthy NBA career still. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's still getting a check today. So
no doubt. That's what about the check.
He won in life.
Run the check. Yeah, how they say it. But, yeah. All right, so let's talk about your college career. You got there. What was it like when you first got there? Did you think college was going to be college? Or, like, did you think, like, man, how did I even get here?
Man, it's always the unknown factor. I was talking to my cousins about that a little bit last night, though, man. It's just like, from a kid, you always had those dreams. I'm going to make it to the NBA. I'm going to play Division I basketball, whatever it is, though. You know what I'm saying? And then once you actually get there, you there, but then it's like, okay, now can I compete? Like, I mean, you're going to have the confidence, most people, you're going to have the confidence that you can compete, but it's always going to be a question because it's an unknown factor. You're going into something that you don't know. And probably after the first couple games to pick up, tell you a funny story, though. Actually, on my visit when I was still in high school, when I went to Western Carolina, the team that they put me on that day on my visit, I actually didn't lose a game in pickup that day. So,
you like Jordan out there? You wasn't with me shooting in the gym?
Nah, I ain't even gonna put that on because I was with 4 guys who was already on the team.
Yeah.
But that also gave me confidence going in. So when I got there, I was actually on the team and we started playing pickup. And all it takes is for you to hold your own a couple possessions. You knock down a jumper, get a nice little backdoor cut, get a layup, or you playing good defense on somebody who's supposed to be good or somebody who's supposed to be a junior or a senior. And from there, most of the time, your confidence just kind of grows. So, I mean, I actually redshirted my first year. I redshirted my first year because when Western found me, there was another reason why Coach Mosley was telling me to go ahead and commit because they actually didn't even have any scholarships left. They actually found scholarship money for me because the coach that recruited me, he thought I was 2008. Because I actually graduated 2009, but I always played up a year in AAU. So I played with Eugene and KJ and Dez Arnwood, Tim Taylor, and all those guys that were a year before me. But he thought I was already in school, and then when he found out I was still in school, that's how he started recruiting me. So, but at the time, they didn't have any scholarships left.
Gotcha.
So, but they ended up finding room, finding enough money where my parents didn't have to pay anything or we didn't have to come out of pocket or anything. And they pretty much, if he is who we think he is, he's for sure going to be getting basketball money next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, ended up working out for me. I spent that whole year practicing with the team, even traveling with them on the road and just getting better, lifting, obviously just the things that come with college and different things. And then I end up they actually wanted to take me off of my red shirt year, but it was so late in the year when they wanted to take me off of it, it was going to be like it was a wasted year. So if they would have took me off at the end of the year, that year would have counted against me. So it was like there's no need to waste his whole year on 6-7 games. So we're going to just go ahead and hold them out. Fast forward to the next year, I ended up coming back and win freshman of the year in the conference. Like I said, we won the conference that year. Ended up losing in the semifinals on the Wofford, and they actually won it. And then from there, man, just my junior year was kind of takeover from there, man. Our freshman year, we had a guy, Mike Williams, out of Baton Rouge, who was pretty good, and I started at the point, and he played the 2. And it's funny.
So the point guard position for you, I asked you that because, like, was the point guard position for you more of a facilitator position or more positions to where, like, you have to score? Like, because the new era, like, point guard the point guard score. Like back in the day, we played point guard like Sam Cassell would like be a scorer, but now you know what I'm saying.
It's funny that you break it down like that before you even ask me that because I actually got caught in the era of the transition of the point guard. So in my mind, I grew up as I didn't grow up as a traditional point guard.
Right.
But in my mind, I know basketball and I know how the traditional point guard operates. So what happened was my freshman year, Mike, he led the team in scoring. He was all conference. But my freshman year, I shot 44% from the three-point line and shooting over 100 threes. So I shot the ball at a high clip. So, but I played point guard, but it was more get it to Mike, then he going to create, and if he don't got nothing, he kicking to me, and it's more catch and shoot. And then once he left, going into my sophomore year, it was more of we need you to score. And which they needed me. What's crazy is my coach actually told me my freshman year, like, if we're going to win, we need you to score. So I still averaged 12 points a game being a true point guard my freshman year.
So your point guard position, you feel like your scoring average reduced because of point guard?
No, because if we being honest, I was actually a point. Like, I'm not a two.
Okay,
like, I could get away with playing the two, and I scored, we talked about it earlier, 1,900 in high school, 1,900 in college. So it's not a question of whether I can actually score the ball, but it's where you putting me at. You know what I'm saying? Like with Coach Mosley, we had no true positions. It was motion 5-out offense. So anybody who get it, bringing it down the court.
Whoever's open gonna get the
and now it's filling spots. It's not get it to the point guard and then get us in a set. It's
kind of like a Princeton offense.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it was. So when I got to college, that was actually my first time actually even put it in a system where you got to play traditional point guard. So in my mind, I'm trying to play point guard. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, fast forward to all of this. My senior year, I averaged 17 and a half a game, and I still led the conference in assists. Whew. I led the conference in assists. So and like I said, I was kind of caught in the transition of the scoring point guard. So, in my mind, I used to always try to play the game as a traditional point guard because I always looked at it as I want to see which one of my teammates going to get going tonight, and I always looked at it as who wants to play with a point guard who's shooting the ball all the time?
True. No doubt.
So I ain't even ready to get my shot off if every time I come down, he getting shots up or I think he going to shoot it. Now when he passes it to me, I ain't ready.
Bounce the ball. He going to shoot the ball if I even get a chance to be set up.
Exactly. So I spent a lot of my first halves trying to get guys acclimated into the game and trying to see who was going, who had a hot hand that night. And then most of the time I did most of my scoring in the second half. So, like I said, my junior year, I averaged 18 and a half, and then, like I said, it went down a point my senior year, but I led the conference in assists. But we also, my junior year, we had no seniors on the team. So we brought everybody back. So everybody got better, and we were a better team. So me going down in points wasn't you didn't get better. It's the rest of the team got better, and I didn't have to do as much. So it was kind of one of those things. Like I said, I just kind of got caught in the middle of it, but I always tried to play traditional point guard, but I always had coaches that would tell me, we need you to score.
Kind of like I think of you like Steve Nash. Like Steve Nash won an MVP them 2 years, had a few guys, good players.
Yes.
You know how to put the ball in their hands.
But people forget about how good Steve Nash actually could shoot the ball.
Right.
And that's why I made the point earlier about my freshman year, I shot 44% from the three-point line.
44%.
Like, your favorite players, whoever they are, in college, NBA, they're not shooting 44% from the three-point line.
Oh, this going to be good. These reels going to be good.
Yeah,
I'm Lyles, make sure you get all that. Make sure you get all that.
That's just real, though, man. And like I said, I give my boy Mike Williams a lot of credit for that.
Michael Jordan. You know Michael Jordan?
Nah. Mike Williams straight out of Baton Rouge, baby. Straight out of Baton Rouge. But but like I said, it was a lot of catch and shoot, though, man. And it's crazy because I was talking to Sprague about this recently, though, man. Like, when people bring up my name, too, they don't talk about the scoring, and people don't talk about how much of when people talk about some of the best shooters that come from this area, my name don't come up. Because I do so much. I did. I ain't going to say I do.
You did
so
I
don't
much
even play
other
no
things
more. I did
outside like shadow your shooting.
Exactly.
I got you.
But if you know me from the time I came up in middle school, early years in high school, I was known as a shooter. And then once you know, okay, he's a shooter, now you got to close out to me as a man. You ain't even closing out to the line because the line over there, I'm shooting from back here. So now you got to close out to me.
And Oscar range. No disrespect.
Oh, for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely had Oscar range for sure.
Oscar was known as a shooter. Like nobody else known him for nothing else but shooting.
He pulling from that volleyball line.
I seen one time he pulled for half court. Like you know how you shoot a ball for half court and you just shoot it? No, he set up and shoot it. My uncle still talked to me. He said, man, he shot it from half court. He squared up at half court. Yeah. Like it's different.
Yeah, that's a fact. Nah, but yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
He said you shot for the volleyball.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. But nah, it was a great time at Western, man. Like I said, I wasn't traded for nothing, man. I don't hate on these kids not getting that money, but a part of me say I wish we would have been getting that money back then. And I could have been getting me a couple NIL deals, but like I said, I don't regret it though, because I would have been leaving those guys who I played with for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And to build those relationships and things like that, you never get that back. You know what I'm saying? So some of those guys I would have been playing with 1, maybe 2 years, and then I would have been out of there chasing money. And you know what I'm saying? And the money might would have came for me even in that moment, but now when the money gone, where your relationships at with people?
So NIL now affecting everything in high school and college. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, we thinking about it wrong though. The parents. I'm back on the parents now.
Yeah.
We thinking about it wrong. A lot of parents is thinking about money right now. And when I say right now, I'm talking about when their kids are in school, like high school, middle school. And it's like, it's only a select few kids who gonna actually get money in high school. Like we talking about the top kids in the country. Like we talking about number 1, number 2, number 3, maybe your top 5 ranked kids in the country. Them the only kids who really gonna be actually getting money. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about the NIL and all that stuff, you should be thinking about that. Getting your kid to school first is the most important thing. And what's crazy is that's always been the most important thing. When I was in school, it was always go get a free education. And this was before kids were getting paid. It's can you go to school for free? And I tell kids all the time, I'm gonna tell you the raw thoughts. I'm not a school guy. I'm not the guy who's saying, "Oh, go to school, get an education." Like, I am saying that if you can do it for free, unless you going to school to be a lawyer, and this is just my beliefs. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a fact, or this. If people do what they want to do with their money, people want to do what they want to do with their time. But if you ain't going to school to be no doctor, no lawyer, no, something that you need that degree for. Like, I'm not a big guy of going to school, but if you can go to school for free, go get it. You know what I'm saying? So now my thing is, that's what you ought to be thinking about. And now it's still the education of getting the education for free. But if you can get your kid to Division I, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, whatever it is, they got NIL deals out there for them now. So even if they ain't even making what the top players is making, if they not in that 150, 200,000, if they ain't in that $500,000, $1 million type range, the lowest kids in football and basketball, these kids are still making $30,000, $40,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about $30,000, $40,000 a year for a college kid. Like, I know how good it was for me on a financial aid check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Financial aid.
I ate good and you know what I'm saying? I ate good, drunk good, all I did all that in college, you know what I'm saying, off of $2,500 a semester, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, if you can get your kid to school, but like I said, I think parents are thinking about it a little backwards now, and they trying to rush it, or they trying to skip steps of the process of actually getting their kids to there. Like, they thinking about the money and what's there on the end, but it's like I said, is your kid putting in the work? Or is they on that tablet? Is they on their iPad? Is they on that video game all day? You know, how many hours are they spending on that versus how many hours are they spending working on their craft? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think we're a little confused with it. Social media is kind of like all over the place. Where, like these kids can get thousands of likes, thousands of comments, and it's just like...
It ain't doing nothing to execute whatever it is.
Yeah, and I think it just handicap a lot of them from thinking they need to work on their game. Because, I mean, I don't blame them, but as a kid, when you hear certain things, you start to get brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? So when you hearing, oh, man, you good, man, you going to be nice, you like that, you start to get a level of comfortability. And that's just... And that ain't even just kids. That's grown people. Grown people, when people start telling them how good they doing, you just start to get a level of comfortability. You know what I'm saying? You're not taking accountability for what you actually supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like self-accountability is one thing that we not doing right now. Like even in the era, and I don't want to touch on, I don't want to go too deep in it because I know it's a touchy subject for.
No, wrong thoughts. No. It's never a such thing as touchy subject.
Yeah, no. I know it's.
I
I just say I know it's a touchy thought because some people really have even lost their life when it comes to it. When I'm talking about, I'm about to hit on the mental health thing, but this is what I say about that. We in an era now of mental health, and like I said, I'm not going to say that this is a thing. It's not a real thing of people with mental health. But what I will say is, I grew up in I didn't grow up in a mental health era. I grew up in a mental toughness era. So where what are you going through, and what can you do to get through that? You know what I'm saying? So okay, I'm going through something right now, but it's just as a grown person. I'm going through something. You might be going through something in life right now. You still gotta get up, go to work, don't you?
Damn right.
Wrong thoughts. You can't sit in the house and be like, man, I'm feeling bad today. Y'all leave me alone. Y'all don't talk to me. But we tell the kids, you going through mental health. You can say I'm going through mental health, and can't nobody say nothing to you.
Yeah, that's
and we gotta just leave you alone.
I always talk about the two-part personalities: the professional personality for your job, and to the personal personality. So when you go to your job, you can't say certain things you want to say. But if you go home to your family, your wife, and all them, you have to give them the real raw thoughts, like the real personality. Where like you have to shut up and like let them know, like, look, I don't want to be bothered. This happened at work, blah blah. You have to be able to do this and do that. It's a two-step personality. People don't understand that. Everybody in the world has a two-step personality. The business personality, if you're an elected official, if you're a person who's running a business, if you're a person that's just like managing something, you have to come out like this. But when you go home, you expect to be yourself. Like yourself. Like how you are, you should be able to walk in the room and say whatever you want to say. But see, people don't never understand it. You know, and sometimes we have overstand it too.
Yeah, you just gotta know the difference in it, man. Like I said, it's just a thing of, man, back in the day, man, you could be going through whatever you're going through, man, and nobody cares.
Right.
And even to this day, we kind of joked about it a while ago, though, but like even like now, nobody cares still. They gonna act like they care.
Yeah.
They gonna act like they care. Oh, you good? Hey, man, I'm praying for you.
Care about nothing.
Yeah, they don't care. They
just nosy.
Yeah, that's it. They just nosy though, man. So it's just like, I mean, I'm gonna be there. Even like my son, like I said, I try to give the message as far as what I know, but I also in the same breath to tell people I ain't trying to tell you what to do with your kid. Because if somebody think they can tell me to do with Trey Jr., they lost their mind. Like I'm gonna do what I want because that's my kid. So I understand it though, but we gotta actually think about it, and we gotta process some of these decisions that we making and some of these things that we putting on our kids and some of these things we doing with them, and just think about even the long-term process of it though. Like I mean, like we preparing them for real life. We preparing them for the real world. And I say it proudly. I'm a black man. My son is a black man. So I ain't gonna sit here and say we don't got time for mental health because mental health is real. It's real. Like I said, I don't take that lightly at all. But I ain't gonna sit here and baby you and keep talking about, oh, you feeling bad. Bro, we still gotta go on with life. Life moves on, bro. We gotta keep working. We gotta keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to that though, man. And it's just I don't even know exactly what question you asked me, man.
No, you good. Finish. Keep going. Like I said, the platform is yours.
But I think it's just, man, this era though, man, and I ain't even gonna say that they soft. I'm not gonna say they soft because my barber put it to me a good way one day. We softer than our parents. You know what I'm saying? So every generation is gonna be a little softer than what it was because that's the reason why we here to make it easier for the ones that's coming behind us. But it's still a process within all that to where it ain't gonna be easy in life. Like we're making it easier for you, but you still gotta chop wood. It's still work that gotta be done. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't here to baby you. I'm here to teach you how to be a man.
Man, raw mind, raw thoughts. We done after that. After that, anything else you want to say?
I'm good.
You all my raw thoughts. Look, you said enough. I had some stuff I want to say, but that's enough. The podcast need to be shown the way it is. You good? Anything else you want to say about this platform? Or how you feel about coming on?
I mean, it was good to come on, man. You finally got me on, man. I know I was chatting with you for a good little minute last year, man, and you know we ain't never actually get to it and everything. But other than that, man, I'm good. Like I said, I don't do any more coaching right now full time. I may get into it a little bit, you know what I'm saying, once my son get a little older and everything. But right now, man, I'm just here to help the youth and do different things. I actually train a couple of the kids in the area. I don't publicly train and advertise myself as training. But if I see a kid in need and I got a good relationship with their parents or I got a good relationship with them or I see a little potential, even if it ain't necessarily training, I try to just give the kids words of wisdom, and I can try to tell you not necessarily my story, but I can kind of tell you what I went through, things that I saw, not even just from a player perspective, but even as a coach, because I spent time as a head coach 1 year at the high school level. I did 2 years at the Division II level, so I've seen and coached college basketball as well in this era, so it ain't like I'm so far removed where I don't necessarily know what's going on. I got 2 teammates that's coaching Division I. One is at New Mexico. One of them is at Coastal Carolina. And the guy that I was at Elizabeth City with, who coached me at Western Carolina, who recruited me, he's actually at ECU right now.
Oh, wow.
I'm still so connected.
Take notes.
Yeah.
Take notes.
I'm still just so connected when it comes to Division I basketball and being able to reach out to these coaches and tell them, hey, we got this kid in the area. You might want to come look at him. But just being honest, it's a lot of kids that might want to say come look at, but just I don't even mean to keep harping on that part. But I take my son to Trey's gym at Competitive Edge. I take him there at least 3 times a week. It's rare that I see a lot of these high school kids there. And I ain't saying they not working out, but what gym is y'all going to?
Wrong thoughts.
What gym? Matter of fact, they said the camera right here. I can talk to the camera. I just want to ask the kids what gym are y'all going to? Because I'm at Competitive Edge on the regular. I don't see nobody on the gun. I see very few with Sprague. I seen CJ in there the other day, and he just came back from EYBL, and he came in and got a workout in. I see MJ when he's home working. MJ Williams is dope. Because he worked on his game.
Yeah.
He worked on, but a lot of you kids are not working on your game. And let me tell y'all something. I tell a lot of kids this, you don't need a trainer. Stop saying, I need a trainer. I need somebody to work me out. We didn't have no trainers in our era. We went in the gym. We spun the ball. We worked on our pivot, our jab step, and we worked on whatever we could do from there. I understand football if you might need somebody to throw you the ball or you need to throw the ball to somebody or whatever, but you can still get out there, do you some conditioning. You can still get out there, do you some sprints. You can still get out there and lift you some weights. It's so many things you can do by yourself. As a basketball player, you definitely don't need nobody. It's a gun at Competitive Edge. You don't even need a gun. Like I said, get in there and work on your game. Use your imagination. That's a lost art right now. Kids don't use their imagination. Kids don't do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They don't do that no more. They don't do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and shooting them a game-winning shot, and they picture that shit. You know how many times I visualized hitting a game-winner in my head? And I ain't even hit that many. But it was still just the thought, the process. If it ever came, I was going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all kids need to start working on your game and get in this gym. And with the last thing I got, I brought my shirt. I wore it today. A lot of people know this is what I actually do now, scratch-free. I got a mobile detailing business. If you need some work, please call me. 252-266-5493. Again, 252-266-5493. I'm mobile. I go as far as out to Raleigh, Greenville, wherever you need me to be. I'm coming to knock you out.
My boy in the corner would laugh.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. With that being said, oh man, he just said so much. Sumler, Trey.
And so much I done left out too. We're gonna have to get back for a part 2.
We got part two. Yeah, we got part 2.
We want
to make sure keep the engagement. Keep the engagement.
Yeah.
That being said, Raw Thoughts, Ryan Jones Senior Show is I can't stop laughing over in the corner. It's out.
hey, shout out. I got my boy AB in here, man. Shout out to the Crash Out boy. Shout out to my boy Kels. Shout out to my boy Parlay. Y'all already know what we on. You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, meet your first time home buyer, Cameron Lord. Whether you're buying your first time home or looking to sell, he's here to make the process smooth, stress-free, and successful. He has access to down payment assistance program in Edgecombe County, Wilson, Pitt County, Greene County, helping more families achieve ownership. His negotiation skills is second to none. Focused on keeping more money in your pocket while you're guiding through every step of the home buying process. Thinking about selling? No worries. Free estimate from Cameron Lord. make sure you give him a call. Use the promo code Raw Thoughts. That's right, Raw Thoughts, because this guy is your one-stop shop. Cameron Lloyd, number 252-567-6023. That's right, 252-567-6023. And also email him at CameronLlord@kw.com. CameronLlord@kw.com. You've seen the flyer up here. You've seen what you got to see. Let's make it happen. Use the promo code Raw Thoughts. I'm telling you, you'll never regret it, and you'll never understand how important real estate selling or buying is through Cameron Lloyd. Raw mind, raw thoughts.